Hello, everybody. We should be live.
Yes, hello. Welcome to the qualifying event, one of the qualifying events for the 2021 annual Star Wars Episode 1 Racer Tournament. And today we will be having a qualifying between BananaBoatKid and Paige. I'm joined today by my fellow commentator, King Bean Dip.
That would be me. So, yeah, BananaBoatKid and Paige are two of our top runners. It will be really interesting to see how they get on in this qualifier.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Both,
right now it seems like it's going to be a battle for fourth seed, I think we're estimating, right?
uh-huh. Yeah, so this is a... All right, so for those of you who are not caught up on how this works, each of the runners will need to do 4 tracks, and they have a time. They have several minutes to do as many attempts as they want on those 4 tracks, and then the best time from each track gets added up, and then the players are sorted into the tournament bracket according to fastest combined time. So several players have already qualified. So, like we said, this is probably a battle for fourth seed.
Yeah. Right now we have myself and King Bean Dip as the current top two, and we expect Ace to join us in the top three regardless of order. And then sitting just outside of that bubble, we have Metallica, who's already run. So we'll be comparing these two likely to Metallica and maybe to Nacho Bredo, who sits just below that as well.
Uh-huh.
Also, it seems that we're not picking up Paige's stream for some reason on our layout. I'm not sure why that is. Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, we're
okay.
having just just a little bit of a delay here on starting, but once we get that fixed, we'll be good to go here. A little bit about Mangaza Speedway, which is our first track. You'll notice that Banana Boat Kid has an 8-minute timer on the top right hand of his screen. So this is going to be an 8-minute long session for this section of qualifying. Each track is a little bit different based on difficulty, length, and whatnot. Mangaza Speedway. So you should really expect to see some really short times, and it'll be pretty intense trying to get a good time here.
Yeah, for sure. The world record on this track is a 39 point. Oh, geez, I don't know, like 5-ish?
I think it's
39.4.
39.43, I believe, is the world record.
Um,
And there's 4 people who have gotten sub 39.5, so they're in the 39.4 region.
uh-huh.
So we're not going to see anything like that today, but to give you a perspective of the relative time frame that we're looking at here, probably going to see around
Yeah.
40 seconds for both these runners.
Yeah, they'll both be shooting for under 41 seconds in this qualifying session. We might see a 39, which would be really cool.
Yes, as of right now, we've seen a bunch of 40s and a singular 39. Right now, the best time is I think a 39.905. So it'd be interesting if we can see anything relatively close to that today. I hope we can see a 39, but 40 is always good. Solid qualifying time for sure. It would appear that we're still waiting for it to completely restart, I believe, is what's happening right now.
Yeah, the stream layout is being restarted. Let's see here.
Yeah, sorry about the delay, guys. Just trying to get everything sorted out so that way we can actually look at both runners here.
Okay, we figured out, or Mind of Me figured out what the problem was.
Yeah. It appears that we still had it in the slot 3 was our second runner, so that would cause it to be black.
Yep.
And for some reason, our restream is also a whole bunch of text.
Yep.
Nice stuff.
I can read it to you guys if you want. It says error negative I minus, and it's counting down from like 1 million really quickly.
Oh, negative 175 appears to be our last winning number. For those of you who guessed that, congratulations.
Yep. Hey,
So the stream is working, which is good. Still don't have restream working for some reason, but our attorney cannot escape the technical difficulties this year. Every event seems to have something wrong.
Well, I guess you guys.
You guys get to see
it. Yeah, you guys get to see it. We're watching the live broadcast stream, which is lower latency, so that we can add the commentary stream to it. And that isn't up yet.
Yeah, we have to get started here short. I get that. I guess I'll just send him a screenshot.
I guess we could commentate from just the Twitch stream for now.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get started and do that.
Yeah, we should probably just get started.
And then maybe after MGS we can figure that out. Alright, so just a second and we will be off shortly.
Either one, I don't care which one of us gives the countdown. You can feel free if you want to. Assuming they're ready. Guess we should actually ask them. BananaBoatKid's been sitting on the ready screen for quite a long time.
Uh-huh. Is Draco doing the countdown?
I'm not sure. I don't think so, but he can. Maybe he will since he can hear us or whatnot.
Yep. Alright.
That's fine.
So yeah, we are good for countdown.
Yeah, so apologies since our commentary will be a little bit delayed, but we'll do our best to try. Oh, geez, what happened to... Do you see what's happening with Paige's stream right now on the on Twitch? What the...
Hey, restream is up.
Oh, hey, nice.
Sweet, okay.
Cool, now we won't be delayed.
Commentate from the Twitch stream.
Alright.
What an adventure.
It really has
Alright,
been.
so countdown has been given, so momentarily we will see them starting. And again, this will be approximately 40 seconds
Looks
per
like we're
attempt
seeing
on this track.
BananaBoatKid start. Oh no, he starts.
Okay, well, he already started his timing. Whatever.
I mean, if he wants to restart like that, that's fine.
Alright, let's watch Paige's stream here. He has a solid first turn, and then he died. BBK made it through the second turn and the third turn, and he's coming up on the start-finish line here. Alright, so that is what a lap of this track looks like.
Yeah, you got a bunch of left turns and the singular right turn.
So it's mildly more complex than NASCAR.
Mildly, yeah. 13.25. Looks like it's gonna be if BBK finishes it out like a 40.3 or something like that. Maybe. Might be faster actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 41.9 for a first time. Wow, that's really good for getting it down quick.
Yeah, I think that.
41.88.
Let's see here.
Paige coming in on her third and final lap. Let's see what she can pull out here. Looks like it's going to be a 40 as well. High 40, a 46.7.
That's a really nice starting time. And now he'll just spend the next, what have we got, 6.5 minutes trying to get that time down as much as he can. Cheat.
Yeah. And you'll have to forgive us if we occasionally make some small mistakes. It's been an adjustment for all of us here as well. Paige, good solid right turn there. It's a very important turn to getting the time down. I mean, they all are, but that one especially is really easy to lose time on. A 40.08 first lap. Solid first lap. Little bonk there. BBK coming in with a 14.45. Probably not good enough to beat his previous time, but it depends on the heat. A 12.91 second lap. Paige on a very good pace.
Oh, he lost it.
That hurts.
Yeah, speaking of which, if you've been watching previous tournaments, you probably knew Paige's Enfro.
Yeah, Paige's Enfro. So let's see. We'll have to see if they can beat any of their PBs here. Still 5.5 minutes remaining. BBK taking a crash. That's a very easy place to crash on. That turn left right before the right turn is very hard to nail properly.
And we'll be seeing for the next few minutes a lot of restarts because they already have a pretty good time set. And so if they are not on that pace, they will restart and try again as soon as they realize they're off pace.
Yeah, managing time in an 8-minute session is very important. You have to very carefully... Oh, what was that time for Paige?
It was a 40.8.
48, which is not quite good enough.
0.2 slower than his last run.
BBK coming into the final turns here. I don't think it's going to be good enough.
Not fast enough. It's so close though.
It might be faster. I think it was a 41.88, so 41.67, a couple hundredths faster, I think. I wrote that down properly the first time. Seems to be pausing here for a moment. Not sure why. Maybe changing frame rate a little bit?
No, he's typing his time in Discord.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, the game completely pauses when you tap out of it. It's an old game. Old games do weird things.
Yeah, old game doesn't know how to function in new era. Nor did it know how to function in the old era, to be fair.
It was an adventure back then.
A lot of older games, they were tough to run.
My family had a computer that could run Need for Speed 2 at about 8 frames per second. It was a lot of fun. Need for Speed 1 was actually slower for some reason.
As Mikey just pointed out, it appears we did not select game audio yet. What did Paige come in there with?
Sorry.
A 46.78. I don't think it's about the same time that she got the first time. BBK coming in the second lap. Paige's game appears to have crashed in an 8-minute session. Oh boy.
That's not fun.
That's not good. There's only 3 minutes left, and no, I don't mean the racer that dropped out today. I suppose that's no good though. That's not good. That's same difference basically. All right, BananaBoatKid starting another run, and as you've seen, they're going pretty hard, which is why they're crashing a lot. 14:09, pretty good heat for that 14 as well. Good pace. Let's see if we can keep it up. Paige starting another fresh lap after the game crashing. Hopefully she can lower her MGS time a little bit here. She's been on good pace. It's just a matter of getting the ending right, I would say. Coming into the end of the second lap. A new lap record, not sure if that's real or not, but something to be noteworthy in, for sure.
Okay,
Here we go.
so
Last turn
40.2,
here is
a
a
nice
40.24. It's very good.
that is going to be her personal best in this session.
Mm-hmm.
And
Let's see. He's going at it again with 1:42. Not much time left here. Did restream freeze for you as well, King Dean?
yes, I'm trying to tell if the stream froze or if they both tapped out of game for whatever reason.
I feel as though it's just restream, because on Twitch BananaBoatKid's already much farther ahead, so restream seems to be having a lot of issues today. Not sure why, but we'll be looking at the Twitch stream until it comes back up, I suppose. Minute left as of looking at the Twitch stream.
Paige dying right on the last turn. I don't think she was on pace anyway.
Less than half a minute remaining. BBK coming into third lap. Paige starting another run. Looks like there's some more weird cropping going on for whatever reason. Not sure what that's all about. Oh, BBK crashing just before the end there.
Yeah, so if a runner is in the middle of a run, when the time runs out, they can finish that attempt.
Looks like Paige just hit restart right before time ran out, so I think this is the last run that we can count. Let's go ahead and ping them that time is up.
40.24. Alright, so Paige says 42.243 is her final time.
Yep, we'll see if BananaBoatKid finishes this run. Going into the last turn. And
ooh,
he actually got it. He gets a sub 40.
Wow.
That's
there we
great.
go.
He gets it just at the end of time. Wow, that's actually a PB for him, I think. I believe his previous PB was a 300th slower.
Yeah, it was. Yep. PB by 0.031 seconds.
A solid improvement. And that puts BBK into, I believe, second place for Mongaza Speedway.
Uh-huh.
Very nice.
Alright, so the next track we will be setting up for here is Doug Turby. As you can see, looking at Paige's screen, this is a spitting image of Laguna Seca.
Yes, it is. There's a lot of very specific turns in Laguna Seca that are very infamous in the world of racing, and we're going to see those be very deadly here today as well, and we're likely going to see a lot of crashes and attempts to get fast times.
This is one of the tightest and most technical tracks in the game, and it's very short. Yeah, so it's just a minute and a half of sheer brutality. Alright, we're working on audio and getting the commentary stream back up.
Yep, and the runner should be ready momentarily.
Let's see here. Okay, so BananaBoatKid set the second fastest Mongaza time in qualifying so far.
Mm-hmm.
Right after you.
And it looks like Paige is in 5th, I believe.
Yeah, that looks about right.
It was very tight times. The top 5 times range from 39.905 to now 40.243. A very small range.
A third of a second.
And most runners get between 39 and 42, I believe, is about the typical time range for our good to top runners. Not to diss anybody that gets worse than that or anything, of course, but that's just what we're typically seeing for the higher seeded or expected seeded runners.
Let me see.
Not sure why Restream hates us so much today. Also, is it just me or is Paige's thing still, like, partially Mongaza?
Yeah, that is, and she's in the middle of a boost, as you can see. Oh wait, no, that's a charging
boost, and it's completely charged too.
Yep.
It's very solid.
Okay, well, I think we can get started.
Yeah, we'll just have to get started here. Let's roll with it. So yeah, once again, commentary might be a little bit displaced from what you're seeing, which is unfortunate, but there's not much we can do about it in this moment. Hopefully that'll be fixed soon.
Hey, wait, we have game audio now. Sweet.
Hey, nice.
Progress is being made.
Alright, looks like both runners are ready. Guess we should go ahead and have a countdown given then. Alright, countdown is given. We should see the runners restart here momentarily.
Hey, wait, the screen on Restream updated.
Oh, maybe we got it.
Oh, nice.
Looks like it. Okay, I think Restream has come back up, so we're going to go ahead and switch to looking at that now. And it looks like the runners are just now starting, so good timing. So the first thing you'll notice is a very heavy hairpin into a shortcut route here, and BBK crashes on the shortcut immediately. The hairpin is, I believe, known as the Andretti hairpin on the actual Laguna Seca track, so it's very awesome. Paige going through the infamous, what is it? Do you know what it's called?
I have no idea, dude. I only know the name of the corkscrew on that track.
All right, 32.91, pretty okay first lap.
Right. So how this track works in this game is we have the opening very tight hairpin to the left, and then a long sweeping right-hander, and this right-hander here is extremely difficult because you have to boost through it, and you have to start your boost really early. And Ben Guadaneros here is not able to turn hard enough to make it, so you have to use a lot of slide. You may notice the players are drifting quite heavily on all of these turns, which is by all means a necessary strategy at this level of play.
Yeah, and you also notice that the runners will typically be running at a very slippery traction in frames per second, or FPS, just because of that type of factor. It's a very limiting factor. You want to be as high of traction as you can get while still being able to do that first turn correctly. Alright, BananaBoatKid coming through to the end of his first one. It looks like our stream overlay has been moderately updated the qualifier. It looks like we still have a column.
Anyway, 32.5 lap one is quite strong. We'll see how Paige
BananaBoatKid is capable of a 133. We'll see if he can pull that out as well.
Oh, sorry, I missed your time.
It's a new lap record.
31.47 for BananaBoatKid on the second lap. That's pretty okay, but not a great pace given his heat here compared to what he can get.
Yeah, this is probably a 34, maybe 35 pace.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he can survive. He goes through the corkscrew. Maybe that's the rainy curve that follows it, if I remember correctly.
Alright, with that mistake, it's probably a 36.
Yeah, it's a sad mistake here. And then coming into the final section, looks like it's going to be a 36. Okay. A 36.495 banker time for BananaBoatKid.
So let me explain how boosting works on this track. It is extremely important on this track. So when you are boosting, your pod heats up. If you heat up all the way, you catch fire. And then when you're not boosting, you cool down again. And this track is so tight that it is just barely possible to max out your heat at the end of the run, which you want to do because if you end the run on low heat, that means you spent time not boosting that you could have spent boosting. And the only way to do that on this track is to boost every single opportunity you can.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even just missing that small boost there that BananaBoatKid did on his first turn is going to lose him time instantly, because the time it takes to charge the next boost, he was underheating almost that entire time. Instant, unrecoverable time loss. And you're going to see him reset there after messing up the corkscrew. Paige coming in end of the second lap here. I can't tell what her heat level's at because it appears to be cut off still. 31.59, pretty solid here. Low heat from what I just saw there. Looks like we might see a 35 or a 34, similar to what BBK's pace was on earlier. Let's see what she can pull out. Coming into the final turns.
Her heat is low though.
Very low, yes. A 136.14, a 136.138. Not a bad banker time, that's for sure. A lot of runners struggle to get 140, so very solid.
As you can see on BananaBoatKid's timer, which just disappeared.
Okay.
They have about 9.5 more minutes to get a 10th in.
It's a new lap record.
37.2 is good second lap for BananaBoatKid.
Oh, the timer. Okay, the timer
just got moved. Okay.
Oh, that's fancy. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I didn't know you could just eliminate it. It's kind of low heat, but still high enough to be a good time for BananaBoatKid. Normally you want to max out before the corkscrew if you want to get to max heat by the line. As you can see, he lost a lot of heat here. Not gonna quite recover it.
Alright, low 34. That is a fantastic time.
Yeah, 134.109. I'm assuming he's gonna keep going for a 133 since I know I've seen him get it before.
Yeah, he is capable of going a little faster.
For sure. And just for reference, the world record for Doug Derby full track is a 131.960, I believe. And only one runner has ever achieved sub 132, and that is, of course, our champion of racing, Ace himself. Second best time is a 132.1-ish. And then after that, you're just going to see a couple 132s and then 133s. So 134 is very solid here. Corkscrew, and he dives for it. Very hard turn. Paige coming in herself with it. It should be, I would say, moderate heat, probably a little lower than she wants. See how it turns out.
Yeah, not having the broadcast frozen over there is a little interesting. We just, always have to guess as to Paige's heat level.
I mean, it's not dropping to 0 yet, so it's at least okay.
I think she's getting really close to 0. She is struggling to keep her heat up.
Yeah, I would say that as well. It's like very close. Oh, there we can see it drop just there below the mark that we can see. So it's a very tough track. To hold that booster level. 31.52, possibly on pace to beat her 136.1. And it appears my dog is upset with me being on the call to do this, so that's nice.
It's just a sound effect in game.
Yeah. I don't know if you do this, but Ben actually has a rare glitch where he'll start barking. Paige coming in a 135, I think it'll be a 135.43. Solid time and save for Paige. 426. Not bad at all.
So that is her new best in this session.
It appears that Nock is saying hi to my dog in the background. To answer Datneri's question, the seeding is a sum of all of the qualifying times for the individual, and they're all ranked against each other. So the best sum of 4 tracks will be the first seed, and so far down. So you can expect to see for these runners probably a sum of best times here of around 11.5 to 12 minutes. Maybe a little lower.
Yeah, so after this track we have 2 more tracks, and they are well, the next one is long and extremely difficult. And then the final one is longer, but a little more chill.
Yeah, so the 2 following tracks are first off Grabvine Gateway, which is basically universally considered to be the hardest track in the game by speedrunners, and I would agree with that sentiment. And then after that we have the Gauntlet, which is the longest track by distance in the game, for full track at least. And it is also a very chill track for most of the time, except for it's on the Uvu 4 planet, which is infamous for its 0 gravity tube, so we'll see how the runners deal with that. And it appears we have the full stream this side. Back,
oh, nice. Now we can see Paige's
We can see Paige's heat.
And we know that she is in first position.
Yes.
That's important information.
Also, Watto's eyes have returned. Watto peeking out from above right in front of his parts in the background.
That's great.
31.66 second lap for Paige. We'll see what VBK gets in comparison. Probably a 31 as well. Oh, 36.8. A very nice time for BananaBoatKid.
I didn't catch what his lap 1 was. His heat level is not quite where it should be, but it's not bad either.
I honestly think that he could possibly get a better 134. A 133 seems kind of difficult at this point, especially after that bonk.
Paige clocking at the 135.6.
Just barely too
that
slow
is
at the bottom. And BananaBoatKid losing half a second to his best time so far.
alright, so neither of those was a new best.
We have just under 4 minutes remaining, so we'll see how the runners get along following this. BananaBoatKid appears to have alt-tabbed to tell us his best time so far. A lot of runners that you might see here might not opt for Ben. As King Bean did mention earlier, Ben has very poor turning compared to other pods. It's still pretty okay if used properly.
Yeah,
but
he's about average, but there are
Yeah.
much better pods for turning.
Yeah, and oftentimes you might see runners use Mars Guo or Bullseye here, even though Bullseye is significantly slower than a couple other pods here, but just for that agility purpose, it's way easier to use those pods. So the fact that we even have a 2 out of 2 ratio shows that these runners are very solid at the game, know what they're doing. Very confident, I would say, as well, to be able to run Ben first time through.
Yeah, you don't use Ben Quadinaros on this track unless you know you can get better than a 138.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, with the trying to reach maximum heat by the end of the run, the margin on that is so tight here that if you're not, in the top 10 runners, you can't do it. It is extraordinarily difficult to achieve.
Yeah, and even then, honestly, I don't think I've seen more than 3 or 4 runners of our top runners even get to top heat on this track.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever caught fire at the end.
I've caught fire for 1 frame one time.
Nice.
Looks like BananaBoatKid's on a really good pace if I look at it correctly. I think he was a sub 103 combination of the first 2 laps here. And it looks like a 133.
7.8. Nice.
7.8. A very nice time for BananaBoatKid. Let's see what it comes out to.
That puts him in 3rd place on this track out of the runners who have qualified so far.
Yes, the top 2 times here are 132.382 and 132.908. So you can see that there's already kind of that difficulty disparity. Like if you haven't run the track a lot, you're instantly losing over a second, and BananaBoatKid is a solid runner. So you can't just say, oh, he's not good enough to do it. He is. It's just such a hard time to get 132.
And Paige dying to that infamously difficult turn again.
Yeah. Less than a minute to start new runs here. We'll have to see how the players decide to manage that.
So, barring a death, this will be the last attempt from either runner.
BananaBoatKid on the best pace he's been on so far, 32.19 first lap.
That is a very strong first lap.
Yeah. For reference, it's very hard to get a sub 32 first lap. Extremely difficult, especially following it up with fast laps after that. It's hard to keep that pace for so long. Even though
32.6 is also quite strong.
Very strong. Oh,
ooh, and there's a death. He has 10 seconds left to restart.
36.3. As you can see, like I said, it's very hard to follow that first lap with a fast second lap. His heat's still low, so maybe... Oh, bad bump there. Maybe he can pull out something? I suspect he won't be able to beat his best here, but we'll have to see.
If he has a perfect ending to get a 33 and he died.
Right at the end of the rail straight.
Yep.
And it looks like our... Oh, does BananaBoatKid know that time's up? Doesn't seem like he does. Paige, I think, opting to quit there. I'm gonna ping BananaBoatKid.
Draco's.
Well, regardless of what BananaBoatKid may or may not get here, it won't be counted. And he already has a 133, so it's a very solid time.
Yep, so 133.785 for BananaBoatKid and 135 for 26 for Paige.
Yep. They
Both
should be
very
setting up
strong
grounds.
times.
Yeah, for sure. And that cannot be understated. Like, the difficulty of achieving those times is so hard to understand until you try it yourself. If you've never tried Ben at maximum upgrades on Doug Derby, it is very hard to explain why it's hard. But hopefully you can kind of get an idea by watching this too. BBK appears to have not even been aware that 15 minutes passed despite starting the timer himself. Seems he was confused about the 15. Paige warming up Grabvine here. Let's see what I know that Paige has a sum of best of around 418, which is very nice for Grabvine. But we'll have to see if she can pull that out. It'd be a really big PB if she did. Not sure where our time is even coming from anymore. I don't even see it anymore on the screen. Hopefully that gets reset to 30 minutes, and for this next section we will have 30 minutes. BananaBoatKid saying he's ready. I still don't know where this timer is coming from though, so that's fun. Is there any way that we can check that, actually? I don't think so, is there?
I'm just asking.
Yeah. Got set back to 15 minutes actually, so maybe it is from BananaBoatKid still? Okay, it is. 30 minutes on the clock.
Okie dokie.
I believe we can get a countdown here.
Yep, both players say they're ready.
Cool.
Alright, here comes the countdown.
Alright, so we should see them restart momentarily. Like I said earlier, this is the hardest track in the game by most people's standards. And if you've ever looked at the map, I think you'd understand why. It's extremely winding. I believe, who was it? I believe that Paige actually herself yesterday in commentary explained that it looked like somebody dropped a strand of spaghetti and made it into a track.
Yes, an extremely limp strand of spaghetti at that.
Maybe a string would be a better analogy. Just drop string on a table, and that's kind of what it ended up like.
Yeah, this track is absolutely brutal. It is easily the hardest track in the game. And in fact, I have no idea how it made it past playtesting. You'd think any sane playtest would immediately say, nope, that's too hard, try again.
Yeah, sometimes I question if they ran out of time to remake the track. Like, they just had to go with it. Because if you've ever tried a track at, like, just trying to go flat out as fast as you can, you know you're gonna die. Even the best runners and most consistent runners reset 10 to 20 times more times than they finish in terms of, like, PB pace. It's absolutely brutal. And if you watch, I'm going to kind of walk you through a little bit here with BananaBoatKid, assuming he doesn't crash here. He's trying to boost as much as he can on these mini straightaways so that way he can max out his boost as much as he can, right? Because that's kind of the point, but it's just so hard to eke out that heat. Coming into the jungle, very disappointing in this section.
Ooh, death from Paige.
Yeah.
A death on lap 1 isn't really a big deal. You can restart and not lose too much time.
Especially with half an hour. Oh, BananaBoatKid breaking right before the what we call the third slot.
Yep. So, if I may, to give a little bit of perspective on how difficult this track is. A couple months ago, I did a tool assistant run of this track, and the time I got was, if I remember correctly, 3:52. which at the time was 14 seconds faster than the world record, which is just a huge margin. And the world record, to be fair, is oh yeah, you've also held it briefly this week.
Yeah, I've held the 3-lap and 1-lap records briefly
Uh-huh.
before they were taken back.
A world record based on this track is absolutely insane. Nevertheless, I mean that time difference between that and the Ulysses the Run test goes to show how crazy this track is.
Yeah, the best run that has ever been done on this track as of today is a 4-minute and 5.1 second run done by Ace. Second best being 4:05.3, and third best is a 4:08.6. There's a 3.3 second gap between second and third. And let me be clear, the runner that got third used to be the top runner in the world, and it's still 3.3 seconds behind. That's how difficult this run is. And the top run, the 4:05, that, like you said, that's like 12.5 to 13 seconds slower than the task. And it's insanely hard to get, even just that close.
Alright, so Paige attempting the shortcut now. Got it without any problem, and BBK he died on it.
Angle there.
And he doesn't like that, he's gonna restart.
Yeah, I would too. Although at some point you might want to start taking a one crash run here because it's so hard to get.
Yep. Neither player has finished a run yet.
Actually, they wouldn't have even had time to finish a run yet because the rest of the minutes.
This is true.
Paige coming out towards the end of the second swamp. A little bit of a bonk there, not too bad. Could be worse. A 2:32 swamp exit. I can't quite remember what I'm supposed to look at for the time there. I believe it's something around 2:23 is where he faces, something like that. 2:22 maybe. So you can already tell that's 10 to 11 seconds of time lost there. In just the first 2 laps, and Paige isn't doing bad. That's 1:26.93, I believe that reads for the second lap.
She's on pace for a low 3-minute 20.
3:20, wow, that's...
oh, whoops, sorry, 4:20.
I was about to say, man, he's finishing in 5 seconds here, jeez. Oh, misses the quick shortcut a little bit there as James
goes back to it. The shortcut saves enough time that if he misses it, it's just barely faster to go back.
Yeah, Bullseye's acceleration is quite good. It's quite good. I believe it's the second or third, tied second or third fastest in the game. So very solid, and that kind of makes up for it. If you were using a slow accelerating pod, I'm not even sure it's worth going through the shortcut.
Alright, I will... Alright, hopefully the audio will be a little bit better now.
Paige coming in for the end of her first run. I believe it's been crashless so far, which is nice to have. Might actually be PB pace for her right now. I believe her PB is still at 4:31, actually. Do you see a 4:21 perhaps? 4:22, somewhere in there?
Ooh!
Oh!
Okay, that would have been a 4:21. Very solid time.
That's a very solid time. And I know that the world record sounds so much faster than that, but it cannot be understated how hard it is to get anywhere near even 4:20 on this track. Some 5 minutes can be hard for a lot of players.
So that time puts her in 5th place on this track so far.
It looks like it's 8.63.
BananaBoatKid on a really good run is capable of getting sub 4 minutes 10 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, I've seen him be close to 4:09 pace a few times and end up with a 4:11 or so he definitely can get it. The question is, will he be able to get it in the remaining 23 minutes? If he gets a sub 4:10, then we might be looking at 4 players in sub 4:10, which is it's a very large number for qualifying if we had that.
Yeah. only four people so far have ever gotten sub 4 minute 10 seconds on this track.
At least in terms of submitted times. I believe Vinlius claims a 4:08, which would make it 5, but he doesn't have it submitted. So in terms of speedrun.com, there's 4 players.
Yep.
We can't confirm nor deny Vinlius.
It's a pretty small club.
It is.
But yeah,
very
Banana
small.
Boat Kid is definitely capable of breaking that barrier.
Yeah, he's a very skilled player, known originally back in the day for his N64 skips, but he's recently been on PC for quite some time, getting very good IL times.
Uh-huh.
Paige, a little bit of a delay there before the next start. Banana Boat Kid on a very solid pace here, breaking up the boost a little bit is going to lose him some time. I don't know if he actually knows the better strats there, but still a 42.5 jungle entrance. Very solid.
I have like no clue what a good jungle entrance is. Ooh!
Ooh, that hurts. The best jungle entrance I've ever seen is a low 41. So he's losing about a second, 1.1 seconds ish in just the first 42 seconds. Just if you watch him here, you might question, how is he losing that much time? Seems like he's doing everything he can here, right? I mean, he's boosting a lot, he's taking relatively tight turns, not really bonking a lot. So where's that time loss at? And it's just everywhere. Like, it cannot be understated just how hard it is to find that time. Appears to be about the same pace so far.
As Draco pointed out, Bullseye is one of the fastest accelerating pods in the game. He is tied for being the most agile.
Yeah, him and Slide.
However, Slide Paramita being the other one. Slide's problem is that his boost thrust is very weak, which makes Bullseye significantly faster than him on this track.
Yeah, the other major difference between the two, besides the size of Slide's pod, which is much wider than Bullseye's, is that Slide has less traction. So he might actually be able to take some turns better, theoretically, than Bullseye. But other than that, it's not even close to worth it. 125 second lap for Banana Boat Kid. Not quite a 410 pace here, but if he can finish... Oh, sorry, that was the first lap, my bad. That was a very good first lap.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the time.
My bad. Yeah, so... Yeah, you... 425 anything first lap is very good. You can definitely get 410, 411.
We're just mixing numbers here, don't worry about
125. Ignore me.
129 is very strong for Paige as well.
Yeah.
I believe that's fast enough to get us up 420.
You can, yes, for sure. If you get even just 125s, which might sound a lot faster, but Paige is certainly capable of, then you can get 419.
Also keep in mind that Ooh! She missed the shortcut.
Ah, that hurts.
That's not going to do it.
Yeah, that's going to lose you about 2 to 3 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, so that shortcut opens up on lap 2. So you can use it on lap 2 and 3, and it saves 2 or 3 seconds. And so that's why the lap 1 times are 2 or 3 seconds behind what you can get on laps 2 and 3.
Yeah. Banana Boat Kid with a 124. Looks like he's on about 413 pace right now. We'll see if he can pick it up in the third lap here. Still a very solid pace.
He still hasn't completed a run.
Yeah, hopefully he will finish this out even if he crashes, but I can understand if he doesn't want to. Because it's just, you don't want to waste too much time. Yeah, that was very clean.
Yeah.
Paige's game appears to have crashed again. Not good luck with that today.
She does have a lot of trouble with game crashing.
Yeah, seems that way. Not quite sure why, but this game is very unstable.
Well, it was released, what, 22 years ago?
Yeah. It's unbelievable to me that this game is actually from 1999. Like, it still
Uh-huh.
holds up racing-wise so well compared to other racing games, at least in my biased opinion.
Um,
A very
all
solid
right.
pace here for BananaBoatKid to see what he ends up with.
And so he is going to be finishing this run. Um,
I'm guessing
yeah,
it's going to
probably.
be somewhere in the 413, 414 range is what pace he was on going into lap 3. Let's see if he can
Yeah, I
continue
think
that.
you're about right.
Looks like it's going
There's
to
a
be
13.
for 13.65. Wow, that's a spectacular time for
Let's
BananaBoatKid.
see where that puts him at the moment. That's the third fastest time in qualifying so far.
Yeah, and if he doesn't beat it, it will likely remain the third fastest time.
Uh-huh.
Well, sorry, third to
Oh,
fourth
no.
fastest. No, yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be
Ace
fourth
hasn't run yet.
fastest. It'd be fourth fastest. My bad. But
We're
he's
just
gotten
counting
better
on
than
Ace
that.
beating it.
Yeah, maybe Ace will go Anakin, like you said.
Yeah, that and for perspective, a 413 is 4 seconds faster than the next fastest time in
And
qualifying.
simultaneously 4 seconds slower than the one
Yeah.
above it.
Yeah,
He's
the range
smack dab in the middle.
the range of times on this track is just so wide.
Yeah, I believe we have what's our highest time here for Grabvine? Looks like it was a 6 minute and 54-second time. So if that doesn't put it into perspective of how difficult it is to get a good time here, I don't know what does put that in perspective.
Yeah. About 7 minutes is 7 to 8 minutes is what you'd expect from a casual player who has done the track, you know, either 0 or a few times.
Yeah. And I believe the N64 guide actually has a goal time of 6 minutes and 20 seconds.
Mhm.
So you can see that even when they were making the game, they didn't expect players to go anywhere near as fast as they are now.
Yeah, that's more than 2 minutes slower than the record.
It's crazy. They certainly didn't know about the strats, that's for sure. About the same first lap that he had last time for BananaBoatKid. Maybe he'll have a stronger second and third lap, though.
Uh-huh.
Paige actually in their second lap. I somehow missed the finishing of the first lap here. Did you catch it, King Bean?
I didn't.
Mm.
Half
Half
of
our
their
time is
time
gone.
is now gone.
Ooh!
That is really bad.
Yeah,
Well,
the
right.
reset's probably worth there. Going warning in the jungle's not good.
It's not too bad though. Bullseye does repair really fast, but it's really
Yeah.
easy to accidentally die while you're repairing. Just
Yeah,
getting
that's-
distracted.
Yeah, and it actually decreases your turn rate when you repair, so it's even harder
Yep.
to avoid getting damage, especially in a section like the jungle where there's very little
Uh-huh.
straight sections. Okay,
Um,
BananaBoatKid, second swamp.
Yeah, this swamp here is the single hardest section of track in the game.
Yeah, I would argue that you could even just put the jungle into swamp onto that because it's honestly only about 20 seconds at top level when you combine those two sections. So
Yeah.
you can think about how many turns are happening in that 20 seconds. Right? You go forward, and then you take a left, a right, a left, and then you have the whole swamp, which is I think what straight right, left, right out of it.
Who knows?
There's a lot of turns, regardless, you know.
Since we're on the windiest track in the game, I should probably say something about how the physics work in this game, or the handling specifically. So, the physics in this game is quite different from other racing games. In car racing games, the faster you go, the less you can turn. Stuff like that. Here, your turn rate is constant, no matter what your speed is. And since Bullseye is fast and extremely agile, that makes him really darty, which is difficult to handle.
Yeah, and especially for players who play on keyboard, which Paige does, and I know you do, it's very hard
Yeah.
to handle that full turn constantly.
Yep, you gotta, just barely tap your arrow key for like 1 or 2 frames to adjust your turn.
Yeah, I will never understand how you guys do that. I'm just gonna let you keep doing it, and I'm never gonna touch it.
Right. 411.
411 6-9 for BananaBoatKid,
Nice.
right under our noses. We're trying to explain
Yep.
things.
That's
6-9-2, almost 2 seconds off.
That's
Wow.
a PB for him by 0.2 seconds. Very
he might
nice.
be able to get 410. He still has 12 minutes, and he clearly is pretty confident now.
Uh-huh.
My dog is here to bother me. Probably questioning where I've been for so long.
The other thing to say about how turning works in this game is that when you turn, your speed is not reduced.
Yeah.
So what that means is that a fast racing line in any other game is not the ideal line in this game. The way Ace likes to put it is the fastest line in this game is if you string a red thread from the apex of one turn to the apex of the next, just a straight line. That is the ideal line to take.
Yeah, the whole point of the lines in this game is to make the distance as small as possible.
Uh-huh.
You do not want to travel extra distance because you will immediately lose time. And it's in the same cases as underheating, it's unrecoverable because you can't just magically take back the time that you lost by taking a longer line.
Yeah. And so what that means is that the fastest line means hugging all of the turns as tight as you can, which, as you can see, is very dangerous.
Yeah, and in the case of the track we saw at the beginning, Mongaza Speedway, the world records for that, they are frames, sometimes less than a frame away from crashing into the walls to be on that pace.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I did a task of that track as well, and I was amazed to see, comparing it to the world record, that sometimes the world record run was slightly closer to the wall than I was in the task. I have no idea how we managed to pull that off. But yeah, the Mongaza Speedway, the track that we saw first, is so optimized that a task of that track is only a third of a second faster, if that.
Yeah, and
it is insane.
There's a chance that we may never even see the next 10th barrier on Mongaza Speedway.
Who knows? Crazier things have happened.
It might happen. It might happen, but there's a chance.
A few racers are left.
Not a ton, but the big one that you want to look out for is for sure Ace, given that he's expected to be he's the likely #1 seed, depending on how Grabvine goes.
Uh-huh.
But since he has the world record on practically every track and every version of the track in the game, you would expect him to be first seed.
Yep. Speaking of which, I don't think I have a list of all of the players in this year's tournament.
I think if I scroll up, I might be able to find it somewhere in tournament scheduling. Here we go. So we're still looking at if these players haven't dropped out, which I know some have, but I think I remember which ones have. So it looks like we're looking at Harold, Johan Afkumla, Renegade, and Ace, I believe.
Okay.
And maybe UF7. I don't remember if he, she, they, whatever. I don't know who that person is, to be honest, but I don't remember if they are still in it or not.
Okay. So
not that many.
Oh, Nachos is 7.
7? I seem to have different information than Nacho.
I don't know, dude.
I'm just gonna I'm just gonna say whatever it is, it's between 4 and 8, somewhere in
BBK wrapping up a second lap. 122.56.
122.
That is extremely fast.
Yeah.
That is. I didn't see what his lap 1 was, but that should put him on pace for a
He should be on pace
410.
for 410, possibly 409 if his first lap was fast enough.
Yeah.
It's very tight though. For reference, if you're looking at like a typical really fast second, third lap, you're looking at about a 121 for quote-unquote world record pace, but even then you can actually get sub 121 on those laps.
Yeah. You don't have a 119 yet, do you?
I have a 120.01. So no, unfortunately, I do not.
I was really hoping you'd be able to get to 19 before Ace did.
I am so sad I missed it, but then I was like, I'm so tired. I'm just gonna leave and wait for him.
Yeah. You spent so much time on this track in the last week.
Oh yeah, lightning, and I forgot about that's no good as well, being that because it was colored on the sheet. That's true. That's correct. Okay, thank you, Nacho, for the list there. And yeah, the amount of time I put on the Gravine to another 411. Oh my gosh, he gets almost a 7/10 PB, missing 410 by less than a tenth.
Wow. That is
amazing run for BananaBoatKid. Unbelievable. We've had so many players PB on this track during qualifier, which is so opposite of what you would expect.
He has enough time for 2 more full attempts.
Yeah, and Paige actually on her third lap might be on pace to beat her best time. It's gonna be close.
And
Depends
to
on
be
how
clear,
Swamp goes.
Oh no! I was about to say, just being on your third lap is really good.
Yeah. One thing that I will say about this game is that there's nothing like being on a solid Grabvine third lap pace. The adrenaline that you feel from that, it's kind of incomparable to most other things. It's so stressful.
Yeah.
I know you said that your blood pressure was skyrocketing through your
Yeah, it was bad. I like got a headache and had to take a break for 5 minutes. So that's why I did the rats run.
Yeah, I was wondering why you did that
chill.
and then went back to Bullseye. I was like, is he done or?
Got to put on a show, right?
Yeah. I almost, and I know this is too late now, but I almost went Sebulba for my last run of the gauntlet during my qualifier. I mean, he should be the fastest, right? Sebulba always wins.
Oh, that's right.
We just been missing the meta here, apparently.
I just need to write that script there, so that when you're using Sebulba, you don't have to do lap 3.
Yeah, and he wins. I'm curious if he could actually even like how fast he could go on certain tracks even without a third lap, because he's just so much slower.
Yeah. Oh right. Game Draco brings up an interesting point. We should maybe say something about Sebulba. So you unlock Sebulba in the game by doing Boonta Classic, which for most players will be one of the last tracks that they do in the game. And it's really exciting. You unlock Sebulba, so you take him out and find that he's terrible.
I remember the first time I ever unlocked Sebulba, I was like, oh, this has got to be like the best pot in the game. He's going to be so good. Drove him. I was like, what is this? Why is he slow?
So the problem is, and I really think this is the exact mistake that they made when designing his pod statistics. He has the highest base speed of any pod in the game at 600. Which makes him extremely fast. However, you don't run the base speed normally. Normally you have upgrades on your pod. And the speed of the pods after upgrades is always capped at 650. So this really strong base speed that he has gets completely pointless once you upgrade the pods.
I believe he actually maxes out his top speed with the first upgrade. Like
With
you
the
get
second
from going
upgrade,
from plug 2 to plug 3, right? Or is it plug 5?
it's really close on plug 3. You need plug
Okay.
5 to
But
max it
yeah,
out. But
I
yeah, and
honestly
then
believe that either they unintentionally capped the speed or they realized that nobody could rightfully control an 800 plus base cruise speed.
uh-huh. And so after he hits the speed cap, the problem that you run into is that his boost thrust is really low. And so you can't, when he boosts, he falls way behind any of the other pods. And in fact, Ben Quadinaros, his boost thrust is more than twice as high as Smolda's.
I believe
Ben,
Sebulba's is 185 and Ben's
yeah, I
is
think so.
400. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's significantly more than double.
Ben is so fast that his average speed, considering the time it takes to cool down between boosts, is faster than Sebulba's max speed. It is bad.
It was really bad. Also, we are down to 1.5 minutes of
Yep.
campaign.
Ooh, that's enough for one lap.
All right, so this is either their last attempt or they're gonna die and reset a couple more times, which
Yep.
is entirely possible.
1.5
1.5 minutes is enough time to die quite a number of times.
Paige's best time so far is 4:22. Let's see if you can get a sub 4:20.
It's certainly within the realm of possibility, but she's
if you
gonna
can
have
get
to
in,
finish this.
if she can get in a clean run, she'll probably do it.
Yeah.
And you guys see they're actually about in sync right now. If you look at their timers.
Oh,
Ooh.
and it's ruined right as we say it.
Yep.
It was a cool moment while it lasted.
Yep, it was.
Just while Paige is in the swamp here, kind of a last note. You see, there's a whole bunch of routes there, obviously. Well, you can actually go in between some of those routes for better lines.
Yep.
It's really hard to do, you know, but it's just such a fun thing, man. Once you get it down to just weave in between finds that normally you have to avoid with all of your might. Okay, we're down
both
to
restarting
10
with
seconds.
BBK's going back in.
Really
all right.
pushing it here.
You can't restart anymore because
Oh!
Oh no!
Uh-oh. Paige won't be able to get another time in.
Oh no, should we allow... Well...
It was just
she's probably looking at a different timer though.
Yeah. It looks like
the
she's
timer on
pausing now.
screen is on BananaBoatKid stream actually. It looks like Paige knows the time is up.
Yeah, it seems that she's gonna take a 4:22.633, which, just to be clear, is still a really good time.
Restarted 5 seconds too late.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate there.
Yep. So I guess we'll see if BananaBoatKid can get a 410.
Yeah.
Hype.
Oh
no! I guess that's a no.
And somehow he's already ready for the next track. Jeez. He typed that right as he died.
Oh, Monado, I should have let you know that the Steam version of this game is great. The GOG version is slightly more stable. But yeah, if it's on sale, totally go for it.
I believe the GOG version was also on sale. If since I looked at it, yeah. I believe it is.
Because
the whole. I think it's like a May 4th sale or something, right?
Yeah.
Or May the 1st be with you sale. I don't know.
I mean,
you can always use either. You can use either.
You can always return it. You haven't played it yet. It's not really a big deal. It's a pretty minor difference.
Also, just saying it, but if you really are questioning if you want to get this game, I would recommend watching a full game run, perhaps, just to get an idea of all the tracks
Uh-huh.
and more pods as well, if you're just curious. Now, you're not going to see absolutely the best strats, but if you just want to play it casually, or you maybe want to even learn the basics of like an RTA speedrun, that would be a good way. And I'd recommend, of course, Ace's like 100% run or something.
Yeah.
Especially since he has commentary runs. Those would be good for you as well. Yeah, Paige, that 422 is really good. I thought it was a 9-second PB. I think I mentioned that during the run that you had a 431 before. Okay.
Yeah, still in my opinion one of the best racing games ever made, and certainly one of the hardest.
Oh yeah. I know that people love to look at games like Mario Kart, especially like 64 or Wii. Those are the more popular ones, but think about how slow those carts move compared to these pods.
Uh-huh.
And I know they're taking really difficult lines, really small differences, but it's almost, if not just as hard to die on a casual experience of running this game as it is to speedrun Mario Kart, but you can't crash in Mario Kart like that. You just die on walls here. You just bounce off them in Mario Kart.
Alright, so countdown has been given for our final track. So this is the Gauntlet. One of the last tracks in the game, the second to the last track actually. It is the longest by distance.
Yes, and the second longest by time.
Uh-huh. So the world record on this track is 4 minutes 58.9 seconds. So sub 5 minutes is just barely possible.
Yeah, and we've already seen 2 sub 5s, and the two of us here as your commentators, we both got sub 5 for qualifier, and we were likely going to see at least one more from Ace, assuming he doesn't throw in Ghost of Bulba.
Which he has threatened.
He has threatened it. He seems to want to be in the same brackets as other players, which I don't like, because if he ends up in my bracket and throws my seed off, I'm going to be sad.
Yeah. BananaBoatKid is... his personal best is 501.8. So that tells me that if he drives really clean and uses, a couple of these new strats, which he is, then he could conceivably get sub 5 minutes during this qualifying session.
It's quite possible. I believe Paige has like a 504 or 503, somewhere in there,
right? Yeah.
I'll check real quick. Actually.
Paige is sitting at a 505 according to speedrun.
Gotcha. Yeah, right in that range. So it's quite possible she could PB here as well, because we've seen a lot of people PB on this track. As the 2 longer tracks have been a lot of PBs. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a very long track. A lot of straight lines. Few turns. And however, there are some strategies here that don't really have to do with the turns. You saw Paige doing what we call the bull jump there. That's where, instead of... if you look at the track map, there's like a 300-degree turn where the track crosses under itself. And you can jump over that turn to skip some of it.
Yeah. Oh, Death in the Tubes, which is what I was talking about earlier. People really remember those zero gravity tubes for being really hard to make it through, and it can be, but once you have a pattern down, it's often one of the more consistent parts of the track, to be honest.
Here's BBK coming up on the bull jump, and makes it.
Pretty solid. I'd say a little bit slow overall, but definitely still a 501, 5-minute pace.
And it should be noted that skips are not allowed in this qualifying session. Oh!
Oh, what? Bad fire.
I have never seen that before.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an asteroid get
I've never I've never.
That makes me kind of scared for if we have to do this in a one.
What?
Oh no. I
Hmm.
thought that was 100% consistent.
I know that wasn't supposed to be possible.
What happened?
I didn't think the fire started
What?
until after that.
I'm.
Well, okay, we do know that fires can be manipulated by your speed. Maybe there's something weird that she
There
did
might be. There's probably.
that caused the fire to spawn early.
I almost guarantee that there's a texture on here, like in the Bunta class, that you could look at that triggers it, but there's no audio cue, so it'd be really hard to tell.
We might be able to
actually
see it in the debug.
Yeah, might have to start looking at that more in depth soon here. BananaBoatKid still on a decent run here. Really high heat for what I'm used to seeing, but that's not a bad thing necessarily.
Mm-hmm. And bull jump. The bull jump is actually really consistent once you get used to it a little bit.
Yeah, and at least the older version. Now there's a newer version that supposedly saves time, but is very hard to save time with. And
Yeah,
let me
that
tell
Ace
you,
discovered like 2 days ago.
yeah, yeah, it's very hard to not die on that one, or at least even to make it a decent line.
For some reason, we keep finding new stuff on this track, even though it only has like 10 turns. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. It seems like we should have figured this one out a long time ago, but apparently we haven't.
Yeah, there was a big push a couple of years ago to find an optimal strategy for this track, and the findings that we had made it possible to just barely get sub 5 minutes, and we found a couple of new strats since then. So
it's a lot easier now than it used to be to get sub 5. That's for sure.
Yep.
The world record actually uses now 2 old strats. It's very interesting that we haven't been able to beat it despite trying to beat it with new strats yet. That just shows how well that was done. Because this line right here that BBK is going on, we used to go down the middle, and now we take the left, which is a smaller distance. And that wasn't done before. And of course, there's the better bull jump that was discovered as well. Supposedly saves 2 to 3 tenths per lap if done right. I don't know how, but it apparently does.
All right, so BananaBoatKid in the last 30 seconds of this attempt.
I think he's on about 5:02 pace right now, depending on how he finishes it.
Right. So the asteroid tube on the last lap is more difficult than previous laps because you have to boost more through it in order to keep. Oh no!
Ooh, that hurts.
That's an unfortunate death.
Yeah, he's just gonna take the time though and then go again. You hate to see that though. I mean, it was a really good pace run. I think you probably see what, a 5:06 or something like that now. Yeah. That would have been a 5:02, maybe even a 5:01.
That's not a bad banker time though.
No, that's a very good time with the death. Also, did you catch the decimals there?
Catch what?
The decimal places.
Oh no, I didn't.
Ah, dang.
Regardless, that puts him in 5th.
Yeah. I don't expect to see a sub 5 from anybody except for Ace going forward. I think we've established that it's pretty unlikely at this point. Maybe, but I doubt it. This part right here, the BananaBoatKid is going over, you might be wondering, why are they just jumping from hill to hill, and how does that off-road section allow you to boost? Well, there's an interesting section of track right there that's it's fake off-road. Doesn't actually slow you down. Just looks like it should, and it's the same exact texture as the area around it. I'm not sure if they did that on purpose, or if it was an oversight, or what it was exactly, but you're avoiding, or at least you're supposed to avoid, that Paige, the flames, by doing those jumps. I'm a little bit concerned going forward that I will be hit by a flame at some point in the tournament where I'm supposed to not, but we're just gonna ignore that and pretend that it never happened. 'Cause I don't want to consider that possibility.
Yeah, that jumping section though is one of the parts in the track that we had a lot of difficulty optimizing because we had like 5 different theories on the fastest way to take the section of track. And it was really difficult to tell which one was best. And this is the current strat. Maybe we'll find a faster way to do it.
Maybe we should just start labbing that. Maybe that's what the 457 means. We're just
I think
missing
I think a 457 is just possible now with the new bull jump.
And the new line with the left turn, like, it saves more time
Yeah.
than you think, so it's probably just barely possible if you do all of that properly. But that's really, really, really precise to get that type of time.
Uh-huh.
Especially since nobody has yet to get another 458 yet. An important thing about this off-road section here, you don't want to go into it very low heat, because otherwise you're going to end up off-road and not boosting, which is not what you want, like BananaBoatKid just did there.
Yep. So the thing about how the speed works in this game, when you go off-road, your speed is reduced by 25%. However, your boost speed gets applied after that deduction. So your max speed is 650, multiply that by 175, and you get like 480 is the speed that you can do off-road. And then you boost and add another 400 to it. So what that means is that you will spend a lot less time on a slow off-road if you are boosting through it. It is a really significant time save. And so that's why it's so important to be able to boost all the way across it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where the different terrains is actually very hard to play around, whether it be the off-road or a thing known as fast terrain, which actually exists on the tubes here. The heat management via those different aspects make it a lot more complex to manage your boost.
Yeah.
They're both on lap 3 now. Paige a little bit farther ahead. Seems to be on okay pace. 504 or 505, somewhere in there. Oh, right as I say the good pace, she immediately crashes.
Still gonna finish this run though. Has she finished the run yet?
No, not yet. So this is gonna be the banker time for the next 19 minutes or so.
Yep. I don't know what this can be. Maybe 510. Ooh. Okay, make that like 514.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe 515 now.
Oh no.
Oh. It's getting worse.
that ending.
that was rough.
So that was a 515.
Okay, BBK is about to finish his run. Not get too distracted here.
Yeah.
Oh!
No!
No! Not even gonna finish the last 10 seconds of that run.
That hurts. And it looks like it was 515.15 something for Paige. Which is still not terrible. I believe that's... I think that's 6th or 7th place right now.
And it kind of looks like both BananaBoatKid and Paige are making slight mistakes on this jump section with managing boost. Yeah, because BBK spent too much time off-road there and it underheated a little bit. Paige overheated on the off-road, which, you know, says that they're both making some mistakes there.
Yeah. And I don't know if they're even noticing that it's a mistake, or if it's just they're under the pressure of trying to get a good qualifying time and it's just getting to them finally.
It's hard to say. there is a tendency when you get really nervous and ambitious, and especially in a live event like this, there's a tendency to try to boost too much and just say, I need to go
you're
faster.
really
and you
worried
hit
about
boost.
underheated, and you want to go faster. And it's the same thing as when you're doing in multiplayer. If you start seeing people boost past you, you tend to just boost.
Oh, I should be boosting now.
Yeah, like, why am I falling behind here? Am I losing? I should boost to make sure I'm not losing.
Never fall behind is yeah, not a winning strategy.
No.
Unless you're on grab fight.
Yeah, then
Definitely a winning strategy there.
In fact, it's a strategy that basically nobody knows how to do properly. Sub 142 for Banana Boat. Oh,
Ooh.
Never mind. I guess it doesn't matter.
Oh no, Paige missed the boost on the jump.
Oh dang! That's a really bad time loss there, especially if you underheat.
That probably cost 1, maybe 2 seconds.
Yeah, still enough to beat her current best time because that was a very rough ending. But
yeah. and since she's on lap 2 already, it's worth keeping.
Yeah. I 100% would have reset there, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Definitely not recommended strategy to reset like that. I just, too ambitious, probably.
Alright, BBK got the heat level right this time.
He still touched the off-road before the, fake terrain, so that's still losing time. Which is unfortunate, but I'm not sure he knows to... Oh!
Okay, that definitely loses time. Dying is slower.
Yeah, dying
That's an important life lesson.
Now, some people have asked whether or not it's worth it to crash ever in this game. And basically the answer is maybe 1 in a million if you're at no upgrades with certain ones, like certain pods.
Yeah, like...
It's so rare.
If you're taking no upgrade gas gano and crash at a specific point on Boonta Classic and get a good respawn, it can spawn you far enough ahead on the track that it might make up for the fact that you died.
But you have to die at full heat and regain all of your heat.
Yes. And then, so it's just, short answer is no. Plus, why would you ever use no upgrade gas gano?
That's another important question.
There is, okay, besides that though, there are a couple of places where you might intentionally die in order to set up a fast lap attempt. An example of this is on Malistair 100, where there is a lap skip, but in order to set it up, you have to kill yourself first so that you get a few seconds of invincibility while you set up the skip.
Funny enough, you can technically do it without that, but it's way easier to do it with.
Yeah. So,
and the skip that uses is called an MFG. It's really stupid. Don't look into it. Ignore the fact that
fall glitch.
Yeah, just ignore it. It doesn't exist.
Right.
Just like there's certainly no skips on Sunken City or Vengeance. They don't exist.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't think about it. If you look past those, then this game it looks nice, you know. Satisfying skips.
Oh, right. And also the Inferno laps.
Okay, 506. 9-second improvement. Made a couple mistakes.
We're talking about skips and this to 506. That is a very strong time.
700. Nice.
That is 1 second slower than your PB.
And 0.6 off BananaBoatKid, about a little bit less. Okay, we got 12 minutes. Oh, 12 and a half minutes, actually. BBK having some deaths on that left turn there.
Yep. If you guys want to see skips in this game, once we get out of the qualifying phase, skips will be allowed in 1v1 matches in the tournament bracket.
Yeah, they will be known as a force, and each player gets a certain number of forces if they are on the losing side. So a winning player that likes skips can't actually force skips.
But a losing player that likes skips can. And so
Yeah.
last year we have seen quite a few skip runs.
Lightning Pirate is pretty infamous for picking skips pretty often, since he knows that he's pretty solid against most players with skips.
Uh-huh.
I believe it was last year that he got a temporary Zugga Challenge skips world record, correct?
Yeah. Yep. This bold jump here that Paige is doing is not considered a skip.
Despite looking like one.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other things like that. There's a Sabobo's Legacy shortcut that used to be called a skip. That's also not a skip. But for the most part, things that look like skips usually just are.
Yeah. If you go out of bounds, it's a skip.
Yeah, which most skips
there are
require.
many of those.
The skips aren't just out of bounds, I don't think. I mean, there's a lot of rules to skips. I don't remember like the exact wording of everything.
I wrote the rules for it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so there are a few conditions that can qualify something as a skip. Going out of bounds, clipping through a wall, the maximum fall glitch that doesn't exist, as we already mentioned. Things like that. So, and also going backwards on a strat that requires going backwards on track.
Yeah, one example of the going backwards is the first half of the Inferno skip. You actually jump across, and it counts you as going backwards very briefly.
Yep, so that's considered a skip. But yeah, generally most skips are skips because they go out of bounds.
I'm trying to think of one that's just a clip. What is one that's just a clip, actually?
I'm not sure, actually.
Like,
I think there's one.
There's got to be one, otherwise it'd be kind of pointless to have the rule.
Oh no, I may have put that rule in there preemptively.
Yeah, just in
I don't
case.
remember.
I mean, it's a good just in case, to be fair. I'm trying to rack my brain through all of them. There's so many skips, though.
Yeah. Most of the tracks in this game have at least one discovered skip.
Yeah. I believe it's at 16 or 17 right now.
Betos requires going out of bounds.
Yeah, you do clip, but you go out of bounds.
Maybe theoretically there's a way to get past the tent by clipping.
Without going out of bounds, yeah. I've considered that, but I've yet to see a hitbox that actually would work for it.
Uh-huh.
That reminds me, I was supposed to be doing skip hunting, and I have yet to go back and do that.
Oh, where were you doing that at?
Oh, I was gonna be looking through all of the Blender models.
Okay.
I was gonna look for more holes in the wall like there is in the Vengeance.
Right.
A 140.7 lap for BananaBoatKid is pretty good.
Uh-huh. I think it's fair to say that most of the skips in the game have been discovered by Ace.
Yeah, there are
he
very
has spent
few.
a lot of time skip hunting.
Yeah, and he's come to the conclusion that there might be, at most, I mean, he basically just says there's 0 left. I'm never going to say there's 0 left until the day I die, just in case.
We always find more.
Yeah, I don't want to be held to that. And honestly, it's just fun thinking about maybe there's a random respawn glitch or pixel run into a wall thing that we don't know about it. How's it going? Hey, Ace.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah, so BananaBoatKid is doing really good, and Paige is also doing really well so far. They both PB'd on Grabvine Gateway. BananaBoatKid PB'd on Mongaza Speedway. Gauntlet's been a little rougher though. They've yet to. Oh, that's a bad jump. And he almost goes back. He actually does go back on the track because you can just go around the bowl infinitely if you want to. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but yeah, I don't know how everybody's PBing on Grabvine.
Paige PB'd by 9 seconds on Grabvine today.
Yeah, Banana Boat Kid by I think like 8/10 or something like that.
Yeah.
Almost got a 410.
So
He was
going well.
hundredths away.
Something about being in a tournament setting makes you do better,
Except for when it doesn't.
except for when it makes you do horribly bad. It's one of the two.
Yeah. Never a middle ground with tournament stuff, is there?
Paige overheating at the end of the off-road again.
Yeah. Also,
And to be fair, it seems like that would be a really simple thing to fix. But in order to fix it, you have to change how something about your boosting pattern like 20 seconds before you get there. And it's
yeah,
really
that's true.
difficult to set up perfectly.
The only adjustment that you can do is wait and cool off on that fake terrain as long as you can, but then you're risking going off of it.
Uh-huh.
And I guess you could memorize where it ends, but that's a pain. Especially when you could just get a better pattern.
And while we're on the subject, since boosting is so important to this track, the ideal way to boost is to start a boost and hold it all the way until you reach overheat. And then
A
cancel and cool
505 for
down all the way.
Paige.
Nice.
Nice. Close to her PB there. And beats BBK's current 506. 505.
Oh, wow.
I think it was at 0.75. I didn't quite catch what it was there.
Of course, BBK's times on the other tracks are
751.
quite are much faster than Paige's. So Paige can't catch up to BBK.
No.
But it is
Even
really
the grab by in time alone would be too much of a gap.
But that is a really nice time to see.
Yeah, and you always want to see people getting close to their PBs in 30 minutes. I mean, the better you are, the harder it gets in some senses, but it's really nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
You see Banana Boat Kid waiting there on that fake terrain, like I said earlier, or fake off-road, whatever you want to call it, just trying to cool off that little bit more rather than changing the pattern from way ahead, and it works out for him. This little thing right here that BananaBoatKid's doing right now is a little bit of a time save, but he's doing it kind of weirdly. He's approaching it really wide, so I'm not sure if he's actually saving much time by approaching it like that, but it's hard to tell because I'm not used to far cam. I have no idea what that line looks like on the camera.
I hate far cam.
I can't stand it. I can't control Ben at all. I'm like,
If you're confused about what we're talking about, you can see that the two players have different camera views.
Yeah, both King Bean
most
and
players
myself.
prefer Pages. A few runners prefer the far cam that BBK is using.
Yeah, in the past, the far cam was actually considered to be better for whatever reason. I don't know how that ended up being propagated through the community, but I think it was just a sub 140 lap for
nice.
Banana Boat Kid. That's really good.
See if we can hold lap 3 together.
Yeah.
Paige going really high on the bull jump.
It's okay though. A little bit of time loss. At least at some point in the track. I don't know if it was from the bull jump or not, but there was certainly time loss in there. Yeah, that is true. Far cam is good for Mars Guo / Jinriso or other really big pods that you can't see around, because then
just
it feels like
he's
a normal pod. Yeah, if they're big enough, then it kind of feels like a normal pod. Oh, bad heat for Banana Boat Kid. Gets away with another boost, but he's gonna lose some time there. 141.63 for Paige, first lap. Pretty solid.
Yeah, that's only that's only 1 second off of world record pace.
Yeah, so theoretically she could get a 502, 503. And assuming the heat was normal. I didn't actually look at that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Might have been a little higher than we're used to. A little bit of thing here that I mentioned earlier, but not too much in depth, is I said that the tubes have a thing called fast terrain. Fast Train, what it does is it adds speed to your base speed, I believe it is, right?
Uh-huh.
And
So if you look at
cool
oh no,
off.
I was about to say if you look at BBK, he's going faster now, but he died.
And he's not going to beat his 506, I don't think. So
Oh man,
he's
that's
yet
rough.
to put in another. He's got to reset. He has 2 minutes for a crashless run.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if he can pull it off. That might. I don't think it'll cost him 4th seed or 3rd current seed, but probably 4th final seed. But it might. It depends. I haven't done the sum to know what time he actually needs to pass Metallica, but his Gravine was 6 seconds faster, so I assume he's doing fine.
Well, the next fastest is Nacho with the 504 on Gauntlet. And Nacho is sitting... Okay, so I assume he wants to squeeze in here between myself and Metallica. There's a 12-second gap between us.
Oh, wait. BananaBoatKid actually already has an 11:30. So he's already confirmed ahead of Metallica despite having a crash gauntlet.
Okay.
And that just shows you how important Gravine is here. The disparity in times is very large.
That being said, Lightning Pirate and Zelasklar could easily overtake him. I don't know.
Oh, Zelasklar has already gone. He has 11:51
that's right.
some, yeah. But Lightning Pirate has a chance still.
Uh-huh. And possibly Nectarine.
Possibly.
I
have yet to
don't know
see
how he's been
good
doing this
Nectarine
last
is.
year.
Yeah. The only things I've ever looked at from Nectarine have been some of his RTA runs.
Uh-huh.
So I have not much familiarity with him, but I guess we'll see.
And I don't know much about how Renegade is as a speedrunner.
Yeah, I've done a lot of multiplayer sessions with him, but that doesn't say much for a IL type of setting like qualifying.
Uh-huh. Although you always kick my pants in multiplayer.
It's not my fault that the one time we did Gravline, you got a 440, man. It's not my fault.
that was so rough.
That was before. That was when I still had a 416 personal best on Gravline, and you let me beat you by like 20 seconds.
Yep. All right. The time has already expired, so
yeah, this
nobody
is be
can restart anymore. Paige got a 503.
A 503.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
such a
strong.
good PB. I said earlier that she could do 503, 502, but to actually get it on the last run in a high pressure situation is really impressive.
That's a PB for her by almost 2 seconds.
Yeah,
that is
really
great to see.
Oh, there's actually nothing coming up ahead of time, so we might be able to do some interviews after this.
Sounds fun to me. This is BBK's last attempt. He's still sitting at a 504.
I believe it's a 506,
506?
actually. Yeah, 506.1. I didn't catch the decimals, but hopefully it won't matter that much. Paige saying that she's 11 seconds off her total sum of PBs in this session. Very solid.
We would expect BBK to get no worse than about a 502 from a qualifying session like this, but he has been short on clean runs.
Yeah, he has yet to get a crashless run, and he's died twice in the last 2. Oh, it's very unfortunate. Another good second lap for him. Not quite as good as his other paces have been, but that doesn't matter if he gets a crashless run.
Yeah.
And he'd like to have a little bit more of a time gap if he can afford it, just to try to secure that 4th seed. Or assuming 4th seed. This is all on the assumption that Ace actually, does his attempts normally, which he should.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I'm sure he just likes to capital his way through it. Little bit. Think.
What does that even mean?
I don't even know what that means.
Very nice full jump.
text coming out from Ace there. I have no idea what it means.
Yep.
But
BBK
clearly
is
above
30
my
seconds left.
it's an emote. Well, I cannot see it, so that's unfortunate.
Yep.
Okay, can he survive it just once? He should just take it a little bit safer this time. That's what I'd do if I were him.
Oh,
Getting
the door
close,
rotated
just
on him.
at the end.
Come on.
He
Okay, he makes
survives
past the
that.
rocks.
Okay.
I think he's done.
502?
Unless he goes...
503.
Nice, 503.
Okay.
All right, that's acceptable.
That's good. That's significantly better than a 506.
Yep. And just barely edging out Paige on this track.
Yeah, and that does mean that BananaBoatKid won again. Not well, technically that's not winning, but did beat Paige on every track.
Yep.
And once again, these are both very good players, so it just kind of shows you that these high tense situations, even though like the ILs and stuff and experience are all important, it's just so hard to get those good times, no matter how good you are.
Uh-huh.
And both of them came down to the last run to get those times.
All right, very exciting runs. Let's see here. Both players got PBs during the session,
Yeah, that they did.
and some significant ones at that. All right, I think.
Looks like they're both available for interviews, and we have a bunch of time left, so that's
Yep.
good.
Let's see if we can get them in here. Hello.
Welcome in here, guys.
Hey, that was a session.
Yeah, it was really good stuff from both of you. I mean, you both PB'd on Grabvine.
Oh yeah,
so
that was cool.
crazy. You actually got a sub 40 banana, you know, like BBK. I can't. You just barely edged out that sub 40.
I that all of those lap records are fake, unfortunately, because my times got deleted this morning. But
yeah,
oof.
That's like my third sub 140 on that track.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
your
so
PB is just barely under it though still.
Yeah.
Or was it like okay. All right.
That last
I'm sure...
run. Oh, sorry.
I'll go ahead.
That last run was kind of clutch. I had one more chance.
Yeah, you both got your gauntlet times on the last run.
I had so many that died on the last lap. I was malding. I was malding really hard.
I kept losing runs to the freaking jump strat, like not even bull jump, the jumps on the off-road.
Yeah, we noticed that you kept losing your boost a lot there.
Interesting.
I mean, I think I'm just out of practice on Gauntlet.
Fire. It explained
that fire was...
Tell us how you managed to catch fire on the thing that's supposed to avoid fire.
I landed on it.
We were so confused. It wasn't supposed to be possible.
But no, that's happened to me twice in the past 3 days.
What?
I've never had that happen.
Well, because I landed short. So I touched the gray.
Okay, but even then, it's like, you can land there like every time without fires being close to you.
It's similar. I'm pretty sure it's similar to the RNG manip on Bunta Classic, where I was a little bit slow. I was a little bit slow, so I hit the trigger that happens to drop it there.
It's probably another speed trigger, but
anyway, I'm sure you're both wanting to know how you're placing at the moment.
Yeah, where does this put me?
All right, so BananaBoatKid put in an 11:28, which is a little under 5 seconds faster than Metallica. So you're sitting in third at the moment.
Nice.
Paige, you beat Nacho by 1 second.
Wow.
So you're in fifth place.
By like 0.85.
Yeah.
Looking at the sheet.
Yep.
That's
Nacho
crazy.
complaining in the chat.
My goal was an 11:50. I beat it by... my goal was the last color set with the 11:51. I beat that by 10 seconds. I am very happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that there's a good chance that you will probably remain 6th to 7th seed, I would say.
Yeah, out of whoever's left.
I mean,
we still need to see
Ace
Lightning
should
and
pass
Ace.
you, but then there's
Ace will.
Yeah, Ace should. I mean, unless he throws, but I really don't think
Lightning is a toss-up.
Lightning can. The question is,
I don't know. How much work has Lightning been putting into Grabvine?
That's
I don't
the big
know.
question, I would say. Because if he has a bad Grabvine, he has no chance. And then there's Rene. I don't know what he's been up to.
He's kind of a dark horse. He's a very good player. I just haven't seen him play any for a long time now.
Yeah.
Who?
It might be rough.
Renegade.
Renegade or Renegade Duck, one of the two, whichever one you were going to call him.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned Nectarn earlier. King Bean is like another dark horse. Like, how good is he now? I don't know.
Heck, I kind of feel like a dark horse in some ways.
I think you are. I mean, like, the fact that there's the group of us who like actively know you're really good, and then there's the majority of people who are like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah,
yeah.
So
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of true for not really true, but kind of true for me, just because like this is my first actual tournament that I've done. So like,
I mean,
I was kind of jumping.
You said a qualifying time Ace is gonna have trouble with.
Yeah, I mean,
in your first tournament,
goes. If he gets a 408 anything, he basically beats me. Probably.
Probably.
Ace, don't say that. Don't say that.
Stop jinxing things, Ace.
Don't say it.
He likes jinxing things.
I'm gonna get eliminated in the first round of the double elimination. Just gone.
What time were you most happy with, Paige?
Definitely the Grabvine. I went into like a week ago. My PB on Grabvine was a 4:43.
Wow.
Right. You gained 20 seconds in 1 week.
That's insane. I had no idea.
Yeah, like, that's really a good improvement. I'm happy you decided to actually play the game, play the track, you know, because it deserves to be played.
I have never. People keep saying I hate Grabvine. I've never hated Grabvine. I have never hated Grabvine. I have never wanted to put in the amount of time it would take to actually get good at the track. But I kind of didn't have an excuse on this one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
I mean, you could have just ate a 440, but I don't think anybody wants to do that if they don't have to.
No.
Uh-huh.
My goal was a... Let's see. I actually wrote down what I wanted for qualifying times, like when the tracks were announced. Wanted a 40.0x on MGS, didn't quite get that. 134 Doug Derby was kind of close there. Gauntlet, I wanted a 503 and nailed that.
Mm-hmm.
Grabvine, I have 430 listed.
Yeah, that's a big disparity there. I think a lot of people have been meeting their goals. I know I met 3 out of 4 of my track goals. The only one I didn't meet was Mangaza. I wanted a 39.8 there, so just barely.
Oh, boo-hoo.
6 milliseconds off.
The gauntlet was just slightly below what I wanted, but I had to finish my last run like at all costs.
Here I was thinking I'd beat you on a track.
You actually still were ahead of Metallica even with that crash run. So you like just gained time, some cushion, if you will. There.
I actually had 2 of my tracks came. 2 of my best times on this qualifier came from the very last attempt, both on MGS and Gauntlet. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you're one of only 2 players to get a sub 40 on MGS in the qualifying.
Very nice.
So far.
Yeah,
Ace
should get like a 39.7 probably, or 39.6. He's so consistent. I've seen him just like load up the game and say, "Okay, time to do like an MGS attempt," and he just gets a 39.7. I'm like, what?
I mean,
how do you do that?
I do that on Bunta training. I can just say, "I'll do this," and I get a 135.9.
I've never gotten a 135.9.
You really should learn training course.
People have optimized it so much, I'm like, why even try?
I mean, it's really not that hard.
What are you gonna do? Just ban it against people every time?
That's what I've been doing. I'm fine on every other track.
I hope you know that I'm never banning Grabvine against you. So if you want to take that, if you want to play the lottery, we can do that.
I'm not surprised.
I don't want to ban it against anybody. I'll take that lottery anytime.
I'll take it.
I know, right?
It's a fun track. Come on.
Well, MGS is
fun
also
track.
kind of a lottery.
I don't like MGS. There's a chance that against most like top players that I'm just gonna be like, nope, not my thing. I can get a low 40 pretty consistently on a one attempt, but at the same time, I just die. And if there's evidence of that, it's the Davy Stubbs tournament where I got like a 45.
Yeah, a lot of us did really badly on MGS in that.
Yeah, Ace got a 46 because he died on the first turn.
I got a 40 point something.
I got a 46.
Lucky King Bean did.
I won the lottery.
Exactly. I don't want to play the lottery that much. I'll do it on a long track, but 40 seconds is just not enough.
Yeah. On the one hand, I really want people to pick that while I'm commentating because I absolutely love commentating that track. Like it's literally like commentating a horse race. You got to go so fast.
Over.
You're really good at commentating that track, though. By the way.
Thanks. High school debate experience coming in quick. Coming in on talking fast.
Nice.
I'm not kidding. That is literally how I can do it.
Is there anything that you guys wish that not that you wish you could have done better or anything, but like, do you have anything like, oh man, I should have practiced this more, or maybe
I got all of my goal times, and I'm just happy I got my last run in on Gauntlet. That I'm happy with it.
I was wondering what you were going for on Doug Derby. I thought maybe you would be trying for a 33.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I got a 33.
Oh,
that was
apparently. Mine and Nacho's time is even closer than we thought because a couple times we're backwards on the board.
Oh.
0.344.
How did that happen?
Oh, I guess we just entered them in backwards, apparently.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wow.
Still ahead of Nacho.
Less than half a second.
By a third of a second.
Sorry, Nacho.
Sorry, Nacho.
I'm not sorry.
Poor Nacho.
That is like the oldest rivalry we've got in tournament. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
But yeah, very happy with how I performed. Much better than I thought, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, going into this, I kind of suspected that you were going to be the fourth seed, but I knew it was going to be it could have been a toss-up pretty easily between you and Metallica. And, of course, Paige also had a chance if her Grabvine had been, like, just even bigger PB somehow.
I'm nowhere near looking at 410s.
Well, I mean, 410, it always feels far away until randomly you're like, wait, when did I get good at the track? I don't remember.
that was me with the 422.
Yeah, I feel that.
The sub 420 barrier is very hard.
Yeah. I mean, I'm close on it now. I was on pace for it a couple times.
I remember the first time that I did Grabvine. That was in January this year. I spent like 3 days in a row only doing Grabvine, and that's how long it took me to get sub 420. I just was like, can I get a deathless run, please?
Yeah. It just takes like pretty much one.
That 422 was the first deathless run I've gotten all week.
Oh, jeez. If there's ever a time to do it.
Deathless run this week.
What a time to get the big PB.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
You take that.
I was also very close to a 132 on Doug Derby. I had a couple of runs that were on 132 pace, and I was like, I was getting nervous on those ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's how I am whenever I get like a super good first lap on Doug Derby. I'm like, oh my word, this is actually better than my PB. What? And then I
Doug Derby is it's such an oddly difficult track.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's simultaneously one of the hardest and one of the most overrated for difficulty tracks in the game. It's like somewhere in that awkward in between phase where we say it's harder than it is, but it's also ridiculously hard.
Realistically, it has two incredibly difficult parts, and that's the second real turn, the long one, and the chicane.
Yep.
I die on the first hairpin coming out of the first lap basically every time, unless I like remember how to do it properly, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've been tending to take that one pretty wide right now and work on the others because at its core, it's a soft hairpin.
Yeah, the ending is also really hard because if you don't do the corkscrew with extremely quick nose down, then you're not going to overheat properly at the end.
Yeah. I
mean, to be fair, it's just the whole track is hard to do the boosting correctly on. Like ending with heat, I think King B Dip and I were talking about it earlier. He's never seen a fire, and I've only ever seen one frame fire when it came to Doug Derby.
Yep.
All right, I've got to get going. I've got company coming.
All right. Thank you for joining
me. Wait, our viewership went up in the last 5 minutes. How did that happen?
Yes. Nice.
Well, sorry to anyone who came here for speedrunning, but we were just finishing up.
Yep.
Right.
GG, Paige. Thank you.
You too. That was fun.
Yep. Stay tuned for more pod racing. This is just a qualifying session. The main tournament bracket will be starting pretty soon.
Yeah,
I think qualifies.
Yeah, hopefully a little over a week from now, we should start seeing some of the earlier round robin stuff.
And we should have one or two more qualifying sessions left, including Ace and Lightning Pirate.
Yeah, so look forward to those, and those will be some top competitors and might shake up some of the rankings.
Yep, we'll see. Who's doing the outro?
I don't know, I'm just signing off.
Go for it.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.